Hello, everyone. Welcome to Wanderer's Haven. I'm Kevin. I'll be your humble host tonight as we sit back and enjoy a tale led by Al Spader, our trusty game master and master of the Trek. So, everybody, if you have not joined us before in the show, this is going to be episode 8 of Star Trek Forefront, which is our ongoing short series of Star Trek adventures that we play. And this is the recurring team, the group, the main bridge team, as it were, and we're going to be adventuring into to go where no one has gone before. So let's take a moment to go around, introduce everybody real quick. As I said, I'm Kevin. I'll be the host tonight. I am a player this evening, though. Al will be running the game. So, Al, I will have everyone, and then I will go to you. That way you can just kick it right into gear. So let's start with right above in the middle, Matt. Hi. Welcome to the show. Welcome back, man. Good to see you again.
Hey, great to see you. It's been a little while since we all played. I'm Matt Workman. I'm going to be playing Lieutenant Commander Gabriel Martin, Chief Engineer of the U.S.S. Ginsburg. He's a human who likes to take care of his ship and his crew, and it's great to be back with all of you.
Absolutely. Love it. Love to have you back. Good to see you. Sitting right next to him, his partner in crime, also a player, Adela. Hi, welcome back.
Hi, I'm Adela Perez. I'm going to be playing just a taking care of all the people that get injured and more. She is also a betazoid, so that comes in handy every once in a while. Maybe handy, maybe annoying, we don't know. But I'm really happy to be here playing with you guys. Really good to see everybody. Thank you.
All right, we are still here. First hiccup of the night. Kevin's first time running a stream in this capacity. So, hey, there's bound to be a hiccup or two. For whatever reason, my pop-out window for Discord closed down. But we're back. We're not going to get squared away here. Gabriel Martin was on that one. Got us right back up and going. So thanks, Matt. Appreciate that. Thank you, Adela, for being here. It's good to see you as always. And let's move on down to the lower row. Let's go with Andrew right here to my side. How you doing, buddy? Good to see you again.
Hello, I'm Andrew, and I'll be once again playing Lieutenant Vasiliev 6, who is a liberated Borg human, and he is the flight controller for the ship and pilot, who's looking to get his groove back after assimilation and all that unpleasant stuff.
Absolutely. Well, glad to have you back as well. And finally, rounding out the team, I am going to be playing Commander First Officer Idan Rawl, who is a Bajoran commander, young for the position, and he is willing to prove himself, and he wants to go above and beyond to prove that he doesn't need no stinking profits. So he's here. He's going to make sure this team handles things the right way. So again, appreciate everybody being here. Let's head it on over to our game master this evening, Al Spader. Al, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. Great shirt. Love it.
How's it going, everyone? Al Spader. I'm a freelance writer for Star Trek Adventures, and been running this since episode 1. I think this is episode 8.
It is, yes.
8 now. So, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm excited to be back. I know we had last month the plague hit like half the members of the crew in real life. So now we are back. We're all feeling good, and we are here to have some fun.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to start off on the bridge of the Ginsburg. Captain Gix Arlen has returned from all of the craziness of being possessed by a Tillicol and whatnot, and he has now been given a clean bill of health. So he is in the captain's chair. You all are at your stations, and a distress call comes in. At which point, Gix Arlen asks for it on screen, and real quick up on the screen you see a young-ish girl, probably late teens, I guess, mid-teens maybe. This person is an Afrosian, who they have long white hair. The males have they wear long white mustaches. If you're familiar with, the later Star Trek original series movies, there were many Afrosians that you saw in the backgrounds of lots of scenes. And the look on her face is very dire, and she says, "Please, anyone who can hear this, I need help. Has locked me in." Then it cuts out, and Arlen's like, "Try to get it back. Try to get it back," and the signal's just gone. This is something that could potentially be tracked, though. So, if one of you would like to actually try to track this signal, it is a difficulty 1. We will say engineering plus reason. Try to figure this out. Who would like to make this
That
happen?
sounds like something that, as an engineer, I might be able to
I think so.
try to run that.
It's only difficulty 1.
You got
It's not
this.
terribly challenging to find trail, but
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about any momentum or anything. I'm just going to go straight roll here. And yeah, so engineering plus reason, and it's going to be my difficulty is 14.
awesome.
So use successes.
You're gonna generate some momentum here, and you are able to pinpoint a location. It's a moon of an uninhabited planet, 2 star systems away. And Captain Arlen looks at the crew, and he reminds you all that your current mission for the Ginsburg is to meet up with a Klingon contingent who are coming into the Shackleton Expanse, and kind of give them a lowdown of what's happening in the area, and to give them insight into what you've learned about the Tillicol. So he knows it's a pretty important diplomatic mission with the Klingons, but he instantly turns to Eden, Commander.
Sir.
As you know, that this is pretty important to meet up with the Klingons, but if you feel prudent to follow that signal, you can absolutely take a shuttle and away team if needed.
Aye, sir. Martin, Jissa, Vasily, please, if you would accompany me. I think you're just the right people for something like this. And I'll get up and I'll just kind of nod to the captain, and I'll make my way out of the bridge and onto the nearby, not turbo lift. What's the word where the elevator was?
Turbo lift.
Oh, it is turbo. Okay, all right. Sorry, long day. Yes, I get onto the turbo lift and wait for the others.
And he says, "All right, send me a signal as soon as you've got information. And here's our rendezvous point with the Klingons. Just let us know when you're coming back."
Yes, sir.
And with that, he kind of turns back to the main view screen, and you all can make your way to a shuttle. This is a fairly short jaunt, just a couple of hours at low warp speed will get you there, and yeah, you get to this star system. There's no inhabited planets, but there are several planets that are orbiting the sun here, and the one that you've tracked this signal to has one moon that is orbiting it. It is a solid rock moon. Like to do any scans?
Absolutely.
Yeah, is there anything from this area that we could perhaps have an idea about in general, like anything what might have been briefed on beforehand, before we do scans?
This region of space of the Shackleton Expanse is uninhabited.
Oh, okay.
There are always the chances of bumping into Orion pirates or Vinsharis, but this region does not have any locals that Starfleet knows of.
I see. Okay. Sorry about that, Adela. I didn't mean to talk over you. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking just a scan for life.
So it's reason plus science, difficulty 0, to do this scan, and you might be able to learn additional information if you generate momentum.
Nice. Well, I've got reason as 10 and science as 4, so that seems pretty good. And 2d20.
Yeah.
And what do we have? A 2
I see
and a
it.
19.
Do you have any focuses that might apply to the scan that you're making?
Alien biology would be the closest thing. Not and genetics.
Okay, I'll let alien biology get you 2 successes on this. So I'll give you a bit of information. As you're coming up to the signal where this moon is, there is only one life sign on board this moon. It's like a little base that's there. Would you like to learn any further information?
Yeah, I think so.
Would you like to ask a question, or would you like me to give you some information?
How about give me information?
Give you information? There is a periodic scrambling field, transporter scrambling field that is going off on the surface of this moon, and it's cycling every 24 seconds.
Wow, okay. So we,
Interesting.
yeah.
Do you feel that that's perhaps a machine of some sort? Is that part of the distress signal? Do you think, Martin?
It could be. Is there a way I can tell if that is the reason why the signal was cut off? Or do I detect the signal coming from the base anymore, or is that just gone and we got the one?
Signal's completely gone, and this scrambling field that would affect transporters would probably also affect communications. The interesting part is that the field gets up, then it's gone. It's up, and then it's gone.
Does it appear to be shielded, this outpost?
No shield. There's no atmosphere here. It is exposed, but there is a little hangar bay that you could try to pilot your shuttle into.
And that was that life sign. Could she tell if that was a frozen?
Yes, it was a frozen.
Okay.
Question.
You just never know with all the Romulans we've been running into
Yeah.
these days.
That's true. So, Vasily, do you have any sort of idea how long of a range there would be for the shuttles to get this lone person here? Would they have to be stationed here, or would there be a nearby area, a moon base or a planet that they could be coming from instead?
Would I know that?
So yeah, looking at the quote unquote parking garage, you would say that it's big enough to hold a scale 2 ship, which would be something that is capable of traveling around the galaxy on a fairly easy basis. You probably wouldn't have the range to go from one quadrant to another, but certainly you could get to the other side of the Klingon Empire with it if you needed to. And yeah, like if someone is traveling that far, come out here, that is a little bit suspicious.
Have we attempted hails? I assume they probably weren't answered. Or
One has attempted to
Not
hail, yeah.
Do we wish to open up a frequency before we try to set down?
Probably.
it's usually good, or sometimes some people like to start shooting when you land without permission.
We should probably ring the doorbell before we.
Absolutely. Give me a line if you could, please.
You open up a channel, and in between the scrambling bursts, you hear, "Why, hello. This is the Virtuoso. What brings you to this region of space?"
Hello, this is Commander Adon Rawl of the U.S.S. Ginsburg. I am here with some crewmen to try to look into a distress signal that we recently received. Do you know anything about that?
Oh, yes. Please, come down and join us. I believe there was just a misunderstanding.
Come down and join you. There is more than one of you there?
There's only one Virtuoso these days. My creator passed away a couple weeks ago.
Our condolences for your loss. And I'm looking around, everybody kind of confused, like what? And very well. We have permission to dock then.
Please, yes.
Thank you. And
While
Once you fly through, the
talking-
shields will activate behind you. You should be safe.
Okay. While he is talking, I'm going to see if I can't do a little scan and see if the person talking is the actual source of the life sign that we picked up.
Give me a difficulty 2. Let's do insight plus engineering to try to figure this out. Difficulty 2, though. You do have 2 momentum currently.
I'm going to burn one of those momentum.
Can I help with the insight? Just with
Yeah,
my with my
Yeah,
ability?
sure. With you're doing your mental
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
give you an insight
yeah.
plus science on that.
That's a pretty good roll.
Woo!
2,
So?
3, 3.
Yeah.
3 successes.
nice.
Do you have any focuses in communications arrays or anything like that?
No, I don't have nothing that would be really. Mm-mm.
All right, just roll your 1 die to support.
Oops. Hold on.
There we go.
15. That's not a success by you, but that's 3 successes total. So you do generate your 1 momentum back. And this, you're pretty sure, is not even a life sign. You think this is some type of computer program talking with you.
Interesting. Okay. I will, after the communications have closed, I will relay that to everybody else.
If this is some sort of technological intelligence, we may wish to safeguard our systems before we enter its territory, as it may attempt to, just in case it's hostile and attempts to take over our systems.
Good call. I think definitely having security, even though it seems like everything is probably going to be all right, I think having a little bit of more of security protocol in this is going to be beneficial.
Would you like to take care of that, Commander?
Absolutely. I will just kind of I assume we're kind of all sitting on the shuttle. There's not like standing
Oh
up.
yeah, you're still in orbit, or
Absolutely.
you probably haven't even gone to the planet yet.
Okay.
So you can make a roll here. It's going to be difficulty 2 again. This will basically create you an advantage, a scene trait that your shuttle is hardened against artificial intelligence hijacking, I guess.
Perfect. So this will be what is this? Insight security? Is that what you said? Reason security?
Yeah, insight security.
Okay. That for me then is going to be a 12 I'm rolling against. So that sounds fine.
And you could get an assist on it as well.
Okay.
You do.
Vasily, since you kind of suggested it, do you want to be there helping me with
Sure.
You got computer specialization, right?
Yeah, what would this be? Would this be like reason engineering?
Well, we were doing insight plus security, trying to lock things down.
Okay.
Internal
So
systems.
what would the assist be?
I don't know. How are you going to assist? You tell me.
I would probably suggest that to ward the systems against an artificial intelligence breach, we should code our shuttle computer to only accept orders from those with biological signatures.
So that would be an insight plus engineering for sure.
Love it.
That would be an 11 for me, but
You get an extra D20 for that?
I think I do. Yeah, because it's I have the direct neural interface, so yes.
What is if you don't mind me
Although
asking,
you're
what is your
assisting.
security that you're rolling with?
3.
Oh, okay. I have a collaboration
insight
ability, but we have the same rank, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, my insight's only 8. So.
I see. Okay.
So 2d20. One of those will work.
Okay.
So
We got
that's
we got two successes.
Yeah,
So
one
yeah,
for me,
you
one for
are
you.
hardened up here.
Cool.
I'm gonna make note of that. That is now a scene trait that is attached, or I'll call that actually a location trait that is now attached to the shuttle until it is removed in some way.
Nice.
Call.
All right then. Slow and steady then, I suppose, people.
yes.
All right.
Should I take a turn?
Was our communication audio only, or did we?
Yes.
Ooh, okay. Cool.
Yeah. Make it so.
Taking
Alright.
us in. Simple docking procedure here. Again, force field goes up behind you as you land down in the shuttle. There is a large shuttle here. It is this particular shuttle that is already parked here is only about the size of yours. It is a Federation shuttle. That is, it looks like it belongs to. Well, all right, it's not a Federation shuttle. It's a private shuttle that looks like a Federation. So it's one that's been given out to regular people or whatever.
Does
So
it,
yeah.
does it look like, I guess, new, or is it an older model? Does it look like a thing that's been here for 100 years, or?
Oh no. This is an older model, but it is. You
Okay.
can see, you can see that it's recently made its way through the force field and whatnot.
Okay.
May I real quick before we set down as we're coming in past it? Can I do a security sweep over that vessel just to see if it's armed or has any sort of special surprises for us, like a trap or? Is this the same role
Reason
going to be
plus-
inside security?
It'll be reason plus security. Yeah.
Reason security. Okay.
Difficulty 0.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, then that should be fine. Hopefully that should. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Sorry, I got a few more windows open here tonight. I'm rolling against an 11, and no dice for that. I'm not going to spend any momentum for something that's just me having a hunch. I'm just not going to.
I mean, it's difficulty 0,
Yeah.
so you just didn't generate any extra momentum,
Okay.
and you 100% see there are no weapons attached to the shuttle at all. It is a personal use shuttle.
Okay, perfect. Just my formerly being a security officer before I was a commander, just kind of something was nagging at me, so I just thought I'd try it. So, yeah. So I'll just wait till we sat down. I'll look to Gissa though. Do you have any sort of feelings that we should know about? Anything unnatural?
Not currently.
Not currently? Okay.
Can she feel she can sense the presence of the Afrosian life form?
Not from where you are right now.
Would I be able to, now that we're in the building, run a scan and see if we can kind of more or less pinpoint the location of the humanoid?
Yeah, so you want to do a closer, like a tricorder scan to try to pick up the signal?
Just get a sense of maybe like if I can figure out the size of the compound and then maybe generally where the life sign is.
Sure. So so if you're just getting a general scan using a tricorder, just on the other side of the wall from where you landed is a very large room, and then attached to the outskirts of that, it's a circular room. That circular room are several smaller rooms, 4 of them to be exact.
Okay.
But this room is very large. Get the sense that she's in one of those smaller rooms attached to the circle.
Okay.
Perfect.
Mm.
All right then. Since there doesn't seem to be anything out of the ordinary, we'll go ahead just as we finish off the landing preparations and the after shutting everything down the way we properly do. I'll just get up. I'll have a phaser just in case anything's going to be untoward, and I'll make a point to go out first. But unless anybody else has anything they want to bring up or any concerns they might have.
I shall bring the coapsable pipe.
Excellent.
The 10-foot one? Yeah. Nice.
As you start making your way to the double doors that lead into the circular room, the doors actually open, and standing there in front of you is it's an android, but without the synthetic skin, like a Suong android. It is metal, and in a very like kind of silly way, there appears to be different colors of paint splattered all over it, and it's wearing a beret. He says, "Welcome."
Thank you. Who might we have the honor of speaking to right now?
I am the Virtuoso. Welcome to my facility. Well, it's not quite mine yet. It will be soon.
Oh. Who does it belong to now?
The Duxbury family. Marina is here gathering all of her father's old stuff, and once she leaves, she's going to leave me here all by myself.
Oh. She is
Maybe
the...
we can help the process.
What was that?
Maybe we can help the process along for you.
Oh, yes. Come in. And like, as you step into this big circular room, you notice that, like, all around the outside of the room are different, like, art stations. And like, you see, like, a statue that's being chiseled. You see a couple of paintings on the wall, and so on and so forth. And as you walk in, you hear a girl's voice coming from one of the other rooms. She's like, "Why did you do that? You didn't have to lock me in there." And Virtuoso looks over and is like, "You were threatening to turn me in. What do you expect?"
I think maybe we've come in the middle of something. Are we intruding at all?
And the girl says, "Oh no, well, maybe you can help us settle an argument. My name is Marina Duxbury, and this here is my father's retreat. My father, Gerada, passed away 2 weeks ago.
Sorry for your loss.
Would come out here to seek peace and to perform, to create his art."
I see.
Yeah.
So when you mentioned that now you are the only virtuoso, were you referring to her father? I'm talking about Andrew.
And the Virtuoso speaks up and he's like, yes, in fact, Gerada had me observe and learn everything that he knew. Everything he did. I know every molecule of every sculpture, of every piece of art he's ever made.
Wow. It's impressive.
So can
Indeed,
I
it must be
some...
1,376 pieces of art that I have had the pleasure of being alongside Gerada as he did his thing. She looks at you and she's like, "Yeah, it's his thing, not yours."
Well, your distress signal that we acquired made it sound like you were in need of aid. So how can we assist you guys right here?
Well, he locked me in my room with a force field when I refused to let him sell art, claiming it was my father's.
Oh. I see. Well, I mean, according to... you're not really technically a member of the Federation, but according to articles of the Federation, that's not entirely legal. I think you would know that, Virtuoso. To sell counterfeit or, basically pretend art.
It's not counterfeit. It's art that I have done in the manner of my creator. I can mimic him nearly flawlessly.
So with you being his protege, wouldn't you state that it's his art created by, and then you, the protege?
He's like, look, come
It
here.
should have both designation.
Come with me. And he shows you a piece of art that is painted on the that is hung up on the wall. It's of a field of purple and green flowers. And then he projects on the wall the image of a similar piece of art that is red and orange flowers. He says, as you can see, my master was an expert at blending colors and making them appealing to the eye. He had this perfect ratio that he worked with anytime that he mixed color. And if you look at mine here, the blue and green one, it's exactly the same. It is his art.
Well, it is a copy of his art.
Or in the style of his art. As if, someone went to university. Like you just innately know because you've been taught by him. But if someone were to study his art later down the road and try and recreate his artwork, it would be in the style of his artwork. So you, because you are the protege, you are also creating his style, which you can do any style. You could study somebody else. You could do everyone's style because you have that knowledge base or capacity.
Rada taught me these things so that I could carry on his legacy. And it is my intention to continue to do so.
Did Gerada create you?
He did?
May I scan you?
Yes.
I'm just gonna give a tricorder thing. I just want to see what this guy's made out of, or how he's built, like positronic brain, duotronic brain.
Not yeah. I would say it's probably more reminiscent of duotronics than positronics.
Okay.
It is not nearly as advanced as like a Suong droid would be, and he still feels a lot more like a body with a program in it than an actual, humanoid.
Right.
So how does the daughter feel? Can Jissa feel kind of what she's going through?
I think
as we're
she's
talking
she's
sort of
sad.
over her?
She's frustrated, and worried. I guess would be the three big things that are coming from her. And you can see that she has probably been arguing with this android for some time about this. Would you like to take her aside and talk to her?
Yeah, I think I'd like to take her aside. I'm gonna ask if they have any food on their in the kitchen. If she would show me the kitchen.
Yeah,
So I can
she'll show you over to the kitchen, which is one of the 4 rooms around the outside, while everyone else is kind of looking at art. Is there anything that you all would like to do? The android isn't going to force itself upon you or anything. It'll be willing to talk,
Mhm.
you know, and try to reason with you all the best it can. Or if there's anything else you'd like to do in the base, think about that. And I'll go with Jissa and Marina here in the kitchen. Like, yeah, the supplies weren't super well stocked. I mean, Dad would bring stuff out here. He would stay out for a month and then
Don't
come
worry.
home.
I don't actually need any snacks. Marina, what do you need right now? What would you like right now?
I would like that thing out there to stop ruining my father's legacy. I mean, my father has sold many pieces of art across the galaxy and is well known for his expertise. And I'm worried that should the virtuoso start putting more art out there, it'll really water it down and ruin my father's reputation.
seems like he's very happy to create. I wonder if there's a situation where we could place him somewhere where he still could create, like a museum in honor of your father, or some kind of additional facility, if you'd be happy with that.
It does. I mean, it doesn't have feelings, but when I said that I was going to turn him in and ask for help, or that was when it locked me in my room.
Okay. Okay.
I was lucky that I was able to get a distress call out.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. Do you have a place that's safe off of this? Like back
Yeah,
home?
my I've got a home several systems away.
Okay.
This is like my father's retreat, you know.
Sure. Okay. Well, I'll talk to I'll talk to the crew and see what we can come up with.
Everybody that's out in the circular room, you notice that the virtuoso for a moment, like after giving a spiel about different mediums on a board, it kind of like stands still and kind of zones off for a moment.
Oh.
And then it comes back to and continues talking.
I would like to ask it about, well, Virtuoso. Could you tell me the purpose of your transport inhibitor? I noticed that 24 seconds is a very specific time frame. What purpose does it serve?
I'm sorry. I get when I start creating my computer power doesn't. Most of it goes to creation, and so it's hard to keep track of that. Anyways, I didn't want Marina to teleport off here and, um, bring the law on me.
What happened to Gerada?
He died of old age.
Yeah, right.
What did it happen here or back home?
It happened 2 weeks ago here, shortly before he was set to go home.
Was he ill or anything, or just?
Yes. He had become weak and had stopped creating.
May we view his body to pay our respects?
It's already been sent home.
And that's why Marina came here, was when the body was sent home? Or did you report it beforehand?
Marina started her way out here as the body was sent home, yes. To collect all of his stuff.
I understand. If I may ask a little bit more about your process. Believe it or not, actually, on Bajor, where I'm from, my father was an artist. Actually, he was part of the artistic cast there. And I have a little bit of familiarity with this sort of thing. So I was just curious if I could maybe see your process a little bit more in depthly, learn a little bit about how exactly it is that you are emulating this art form and considering it to be a true effect.
Can absolutely show you that. And he quickly runs over to the other side of the room and pulls out, a board to start painting on, and he will painstakingly talk your ear off about the angle in which each stroke is laid, and then eventually start talking about happy little trees and
I love
things
that.
like that.
I suddenly feel so much calmer. Yeah.
Yeah. While he's
but-
doing that, is
but
just
about 10 minutes into that, as he starts showing you, again, like stops for a moment, and then for 2 or 3 seconds, and starts back up again, like nothing had stopped him. Very, very strange.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm gonna pop out my tricorder while we're talking to him and just start like recording, just like the background radiation, incoming, outgoing transmissions, anything like that, just to see even emissions from him. So like the next time he pauses, just to see if there's anything that I can pick up.
Sure. So after, again, talking your ears off about, how to do reflections in water, that pause happens again. And as the pause happens, there's an incoming transmission, digital, and an outgoing transmission, digital.
Interesting.
Hmm.
All right.
And then as soon as that outgoing transmission stops, it starts working. It starts doing its thing again.
I'm going to excuse myself and go back to the shuttle and see if I can't pinpoint the location of that.
Sure.
The signal.
As you're doing that, is anybody doing anything else while they're inside?
I would like to. Are there any logs or anything from Gerada's sort of last days?
There's a computer there. You could certainly try to find what happened.
Yeah, I will go do that.
Give me let's just do another difficulty 0. We'll do insight plus engineering.
Okay. Let me just see here. Insight plus engineering, that's going to be 11 again. Okay. 1 success.
Awesome. So in the final days, so this AI that is controlling the virtuoso would still be active here on the moon whenever Gerada would leave or come back. The final time Gerada came back, they finished a painting of it's actually of the shuttle that you see in the parking garage, so to speak. And like he struggled through that. He would talk about how it felt like his muscles in his hands were atrophying, and it was getting really hard for him to hold a paintbrush and whatnot. And shortly after he finished, he became quite ill, and that's kind of where the logs stop. He does it. There's nothing in there that says what was wrong with him. He was an older man and fell ill and could not recover.
Are there any logs, maybe not from like the very last days even, but if I search through the subject matter sort of, are there any logs at all pertaining to his vision for the AI and his desires for it continuing his work and that sort of stuff?
Yes. So there are numerous different logs in there where Gerada mentions that Virtuoso will be able to continue his work once he's gone.
And I guess is there clarity that the intention is to, I guess, impersonate him rather than to, create replicas? Like, is there any?
There's no direct call out to that.
Okay.
There are several different logs in there talking about how great the Virtuoso has become and how closely it is starting to mimic his style, and so on and so forth, but doesn't say anything about not wanting it to mimic his style or anything like that.
Okay.
Adela was bringing up a good point. Is there a will anywhere?
There's
Filed
not a
by the
will.
Federation?
I think the logs would be kind of considered last will.
Yeah, I think it would. At least, if it was an Earth dweller, who knows how Afrosians think about that.
Do the logs talk about any challenges with the AI in terms of anything that it was struggling with, or anything like even in terms of like reproducing the work or
It talks like in its early days, it had a real hard time sculpting and like using clay and things like that. Mostly, and he chalked that up to not knowing its strength, things like that. But it seems like it's always been good at creating pictures, and only within the last year or so has it really started to mimic Rada's art style.
I still feel like it would be a protege situation where he could stay in the style of, but he or the entity on their own is still the entity on their own. Like their whatever name they want to go by or whatever designation, because they can still create all the art. Plus, their art is going to evolve, as they go forward. So it's still not going to. That's not going to be. I don't know his art.
it
Out
can
at the
all.
shuttle. Do you have something you want to say, Andrew?
No, go ahead.
Out at the shuttle. We're trying to track where this is coming from, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me a difficulty 1, insight plus engineering, or science.
I'll do the engineering. That's my bread and butter there. 1 success.
All right, you got it. So this came from a ship that is approaching this system. It is registered. It is registered to someone by the name of Nezri Vath.
Ooh, okay. Can I? I'm gonna. How far away is that ship?
The ship will be here within 25 minutes.
Can I determine what type of ship that is?
It's it's an Osler class ship. Looks like
Private
this.
registry. Ooh, okay.
Interesting.
Looks cool.
That's an Andorian built ship.
Okay.
It's a buyer. He's selling his work. It's a buyer.
So what I've been doing, selling the work. What I've been doing the whole time that they've been doing all of these different things is I'm doing a twofold thing. One, I'm trying to keep this synthetic life form, this AI, distracted by showing me this process. I also am trying to listen to it, study it, analyze it, because I grew up watching my father do works, helping him in his workshop and things of this nature. So I want to see if it legitimately knows what it's talking about, or if it's just like regurgitating certain just key phrases. Basically, if it has like, for lack of a better description, if it has the soul behind the process rather than just the textbook, it can complete zeros and ones in a certain order. You know what I mean?
Give me either an insight or reason plus command, please.
Okay, I'll definitely do insight then. I have a 9, my command's a 5, so that'll be a 14.
This is difficulty 2.
Okay.
Would you like to buy a die with momentum?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and spend a momentum. We've only got 2, but I'll spend 1, so I'm gonna get 3d20. Trying to go against a 14. So I've got natural 20, but the other 2 are successes. So I believe that
that's good.
Balances out.
No, yeah. So I'm not going to give you momentum in the pool. It'll
Sure.
cancel out your complication.
Okay.
And this thing seems like it's really been learning, like like a protege. Like it's it's been on top of that. Not only has it been learning by watching its mentor, but also by repeatedly running analysis on all of its, the art pieces that it's analyzed over the last 60 years.
Absolutely. Okay. All right.
I'm gonna jump in here and like discreetly just whisper to the commander, like we're gonna have company in 25 minutes. There's an Andorian ship on its way. Private registry.
Are you expecting company, Virtuoso?
Oh yes, yes. The Collectors Guild is quite interested in my master's work. So I put out a call that there were 3 new pieces that we had here.
3 new pieces that were made before 2 weeks ago, or 3 new pieces since then?
Well, that I made.
Understood.
Do we get the sense that since this guy is not as advanced as, say, Data or any of the Soon type androids, is this a sentient android? Is this a being? This
No,
is
you're getting the sense that this is an advanced AI that is capable of learning, um, and
But what it's not capable of, if I'm correct, is it is not capable of creating. It is not capable of like its own. Like it can mimic, it can do a variation on a theme, but it couldn't compose a completely original piece.
Well, that seems to
I'm
be
gonna
the
ask,
debate we're having tonight, I would assume,
ask
is
do it.
yeah,
what
like,
exactly it
I will.
means.
I'll try to say like, are you able to create a completely new piece? What would you invent?
That's different than your than the, your previous art.
this is how I've been taught. This is how I create.
But to that point, that actually works in his favor, because if he cannot create anything original, that means what he's creating is indeed his master's work. If he's incapable of it's he can be thought of as being Gerardus tool for creation, such as, like, for example, when a sculptor programs a 3D printer to print something, the creation is made by the 3D printer, but it's the work of the sculptor.
Right.
Which leads to, and I think at this point, Virtuoso, will you excuse us all for a moment?
Absolutely,
Do you
I've
have
got
a
to.
ready room perhaps we could all sit in?
We can always go back.
There's a kitchen over there that I don't use. I'm gonna get these framed up for Nesri Vath, and so that we can complete our deal in then 20 minutes.
Thank you.
So, yes, to your point, Vasily, that does give it to the point like, yes, okay, this could be a genuine thing. However, this machine is property of the Duxbury family and therefore has no legal standing whatsoever to sell or own any other property, for it is itself. Essentially, it is a creation. And if anything, the Virtuoso itself is Gerada's greatest work.
Well, and there should be like a before death and after death designation. Before death would probably be by his hand with assistance of this technology. After death would obviously be this technology solely within his style. And I'm sure there are buyers and people that are willing to pay for these pieces of art, but that's also true if it's owned, if there's no will, if there's no letting it be free to sell.
As you're saying that, you get this wave of emotion, of anger, and you hear Marina yelling, "What? You're selling these?" And you hear a loud tearing noise. As you poke your heads out of the kitchen, You notice that there is a force field around Marina, and there is a piece of one of the 3 art pieces is torn on the floor.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna whisper to whoever's closest to me. I think we need to shut him down before this gets this needs to be figured out with authorities, the family, because he's a little bit dangerous until we actually I don't know, have
Well,
some resolution.
are there any laws governing this sort of thing? I would imagine that, or even the art guild, I imagine, would have some kind of, you know, rules for AI.
Mhm.
I hear that some of the stuff was hammered out in the late 2030s.
And
It's
I would
possible
say
that
it certainly does.
it's
Considering
possible
how
the
many rogue
Collectors
AIs
Guild,
there have been.
that this guy who's shown up from the Collectors Guild doesn't know that it's AI.
That's true. Might I suggest a mediation between the two of you so we can come to terms with this before your company arrives?
She
There's a
rolls her eyes.
possibility that they'll turn around and go away if you're not respecting the daughter of the original creator. So I'd
She
recommend
rolls her
a
eyes and lets out a huff. She's like,
This could potentially be beneficial for the both of you, to be honest. So I think we should perhaps sit down, work out exactly what sort of differences the two of you have here, and try to come up with something that's a little bit more concrete than just he said, she said.
and the virtuoso looks and he's like, "This is amendable. This is okay. We can take 10 minutes to do this." But my buyer is going to be upset that one of the pieces has been destroyed.
Well, I witnessed you make a piece just a few moments ago. It didn't take you very long. I believe that the buyer would be willing to accept the fact that sometimes art comes with a little bit of trial and error.
Very well.
And how about you, Miss Duxbury? Duxbury? Not Duxburg? Ooh, it's okay.
Duxbury, you're
Duxbury,
right.
okay. So I will say, how about you, Miss Duxbury? Perhaps we could sit down with you as well. I mean, this is your father's work we're talking about here. Your legacy.
Yeah, let's get it done with.
Okay.
Let's get it over with.
Um,
And if it doesn't work, we can just shut him down. I've been trying for the last 4 hours.
well, as members of the Federation, we don't entirely have protocols over controlling something like that here. But what I would like to do is kind of come up with an idea of how best we could figure out where everything stands with this. Luckily, Luckily, I am in the company of a Betazoid who is quite versed at mediations such as this. I am led to believe that at should I say, Counselor University, that you actually studied with Deanna Troy for a bit, and she's renowned in these parts. So I understand that you have certain skill sets that might be perfect for this sort of thing.
Well, she is fantastic. I do lean a little bit of a different direction, but yes, I feel that we can have an open conversation and iron some things out, and maybe we can leave this situation with everybody happy. So I think what I'm hearing is that our friend, the AI, wants to sell the paintings under his protege's name.
The name is the virtuoso, not the AI.
I was
The virtuoso.
just about to make that distinction myself, Virtuoso. Thank you very much for clarifying that.
Thank you.
And the belief is that maybe these should not be sold because it is not, in fact, the hand of the previous virtuoso. So there needs to be some kind of understanding here. We also don't know if the potential buyers, if they wouldn't not want to purchase a painting that is created after the death of the original painter. So that is one factor that we don't know. So let's talk.
Might I suggest that we do this in the traditional Earth fashion of a debate? Let's have each side please present their opinions, and we can have a representative who is objective, someone from our away team, our crew, who could perhaps be mediator for each side. Would that be amenable to the both of you?
Sure. The girl's
I do have a
also
question.
just rolling her eyes.
Please, Commander Martin.
What there's all of this talk about purchasing, and yet we live in a society where members of the Federation haven't had to purchase a thing in hundreds of years. What do you hope to acquire by the selling of your art?
In this case, the Collectors Guild does more bartering than purchasing. They do buy stuff every now and then, depending on who they're dealing with. For me, I'm hoping to trade for more art supplies and such. Also, some still life material, etc., etc.
All of which are easily replicated. So it leads me to wonder why you'd be willing to part with such precious
It's not the
items.
same. Like, can you replicate a field? Can you replicate a mountain?
No, but we can certainly replicate paintbrushes, canvases, clay, marble, any art material you would require.
Gerada
Why
always
would you sell your art for such a thing?
worked with stuff that was built by hand and created by other creators.
Much like yourself.
So might I suggest then that we go into this debate properly? Let's have each of you choose an objective party to be part of your argument, as it were. And we'll need someone who is objectively in the middle of both of these things to perhaps be the mediator. I would recommend perhaps you, Commander, with your skill set here.
I really believe that we can come to some kind of situation where everybody is happy, but often, and this is an Earth saying, that we may come to an understanding, but every parties may not be happy about it. There's going to be a give and take. So there might be something that each of you have to give on to meet in the middle.
A compromise.
The girl says, I just don't want its art going out there as my father's art.
Well, Virtuoso,
Yes.
as you have told us, Gerada's body has been sent back to home. So it is a known public fact that he has passed.
Correct.
So it will be logical for any patrons of his work to understand that he can no longer produce work by his own hand. So new work that is being produced, and it is very easy to authenticate via tools when the work was produced. It will be very easy for somebody to just take a painting and see that this is the date when it was produced and know that it was produced after his death. So concealing this fact is not possible.
I'm not looking to conceal it. I'm saying it is his work.
Would you be willing to specify that it is his work created by you and have you have a separate designation? Is that possible?
I do not have the ability to create myself. I create what he showed me how to create.
So
did he instruct you in a sequence of works to create after his death? How do you know what painting to paint next, or what sculpture to sculpt next?
I gain little bits of information from places, and I attempt to make it look how he would make it look.
It's understood.
Yeah.
What I would like to point out, if I may, Virtuoso, since we are having more of a free-form discussion here rather than a full-on debate, I agree with your plight. I understand where you're coming from. My father was a war prisoner on Bajor through the Cardassians when they took over the planet. He was an artist, and at that point, he actually specifically was held in the, I guess you could say, control of a Cardassian general who was very fond of his art. My father, however, decided to not use artificial replication for his art, and he paid a little bit of a price for that. So I understand that what you're doing is important, and I understand that what you're doing is something that can help a legacy continue. But with that being said, what you have to understand is art is much more than just creating something. It's much more than just putting down binary rote strokes and ideas and color combinations and patterns together on a canvas or onto a sculpting chunk of clay. When an artist creates something, they're not simply creating it, they're putting part of themselves into it. Their soul, their being, that's what makes it unique to them. And as you yourself pointed out, this isn't a debate as to whether or not you're able to do a replication of her father's art, but rather if you're able to actually be him as the art is created, if his essence lives on through the works that you create. And with that being said, it cannot by definition be his art.
Weren't you created as an aid to him, to assist him where he was failing in his body?
No, I was created to ensure his legacy continued. That's why he uploaded every piece into my CPU. That's why I observed every second that he created.
But you're still only created to take what he has already come up with, what his essence and his soul, his ideas, and just simply put them out into new combinations.
Yes.
You yourself cannot make that choice as to what is new, what is different, and therefore what is his.
Well, I guess I have a question for, both of you. If, with his passing, his family is the owner of his estate and his art and his business. So the possibility of selling would actually go to his family.
Marina speaks up and she says, "There's only one piece of his art remaining here. He's moved just about everything else. Loved seeing his art in people's houses, in star bases, in ships. Making people smile was why he did it."
If I may, it does seem that you, Virtuoso, not what you produce, but you yourself are Gerada's legacy. You are his final masterwork. You yourself are the art. Not what you continue to produce or copy or mimic after the fact. It is you yourself.
That does not compute for me. I'm sorry.
Well, as I said,
Marina, what you have here is an invaluable treasure. He's a beautiful masterwork, but he is art himself.
So if we were to label the art as post-mortem,
I think
I believe that would make a difference.
Essentially, imagine the artwork itself is a living, propagating piece of art, which is to say the virtuoso himself and all the virtuoso creates is a part of Gerada's final post-mortem masterpiece.
Marina,
Yes.
you're clearly concerned about your father's legacy being, potentially tarnished. But it seems clear from both his logs that I reviewed as well as some of what Virtuoso has said, that it was his intention that Virtuoso, which he created, would continue producing art. Now, in terms of how that's labeled, it obviously there should be clarity for everybody involved, whether selling or buying, as to what it is and the method of production. But your father clearly wanted this to continue in some manner. Would you agree?
It's really just like my dad to want to live forever, I suppose.
Something of an idea. What if, rather than essentially, I mean, not to be insulting, debasing yourself, Virtuoso, by merely producing and selling works, what if this facility were to become a museum, a gallery, a living gallery of Gerada's ultimate works, yourself, and what you're creating? And we set it up so people can come here and view your process, his process, as well as whatever gets created by you as an immersive exhibit for all the galaxy to come and pay homage to.
And as you're like looking at him, he's staring you dead in the eye, and you're delivering your little bit of information there. And then, as you get to the end of your sentence, you see him like move his head a little bit. You get the sense he was just zoned out again, and he looks at you and says, "Buyer is here." I think that's a good place to take a break real quick.
I think I agree with you, Al. Let's take a step back from this heated debate. I love it. This is some great stuff. We were talking before show about this is what Star Trek is about, is talking about these topics, integrating them, and I love it. It's a great discourse. So yeah, we'll take a quick break. We'll take about 5 minutes. Everybody, please, take a minute, get up, stretch, walk around, get a drink, a snack, whatever you need to feel rejuvenated, and come on back and see us in just a little bit. So thank you. And we are back. Welcome back from the break. Here we are for the second half of tonight's episode. As you all know, if you're just coming in for the first time, we're playing Star Trek Adventures, episode 8 of our ongoing series. And right now we are in a nice, hearty debate about the importance, or perhaps arrogance, of AI-based art. So here we go. We're going to jump back into there. Prospective buyer has just showed up. So I'm curious what surprise you have for us, Al. Al, please. Take it away, my friend.
So the Virtuoso says the buyer is here, and just about 5 minutes earlier than expected. But also, while you were having this debate, you got into it, and it just kind of carried through time, as some debates can, and the Virtuoso says. Buyer wishes to see the pieces.
I mean, obviously, just like bring them all in. Let's have a mixing pot. Let's talk about this.
So it like freezes up again, sends its message, gets a reply that says that it will, or the buyer will beam you up to their ship.
No. The buyer can come.
Why?
Here.
Yeah, why would they wish to do that?
Seems weird.
The buyer has no interest in coming here.
Well, might I just say, as a security protocol, having you be transported to their ship, where therefore you are alone and they're able to just leave with you, is probably not the best thing for you.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
they want this art.
You are the art that they're trying to acquire, Virtuoso. You yourself.
They're expecting 3 pieces, and one of them's torn on the floor. Thanks, Marina.
Well, they'll need to understand that.
Okay.
If I may I perhaps speak with them? explain the situation, how things have changed, how we've become mediaries in this.
Yes. Hold on. And like you, he says you're on with them, and the collectors guild member Nesri Vath starts speaking. What is the meaning of this? We came to an agreement, and I am here to make a purchase of the most mathematically accurate art in the galaxy.
Thank you for your time today, Collector Varth. I am Commander Idan Rawl of the U.S.S. Ginsburg. We have been brought here as mediaries on this process by the late artist's daughter and head of his estate. We'd like to.
I did not agree to any mediaries. This was a straight up trade.
If I may, I believe there's a problem with the jurisdiction as to who is actually legally able to sell this art. You're currently communicating with a non-sentient being who does not actually have any legal authority to sell this art. As members of a Federation guild, I'm sure you would understand that this could pose some problems.
The Collectors Guild are not part of the Federation, by the way.
Oh, they're not?
They're their own entity, yeah. And it says, so we made a deal, and I'm not sure how it works inside your Federation, but when we make deals out here, they are solid. So I need my 3 pieces of art.
If I make a deal with your computer, would you judge that to be a valid deal?
I would call you foolhardy for doing so, but I expect you to follow through. Are you saying that I made a deal with a computer?
Yes.
Who have I been talking to this whole time?
Precisely. I feel like you're finally starting to understand it. Come on down and talk to us.
And meet its owner, Marina.
So he says, all right, I'll beam right down. Give me just a moment.
Oh boy.
And
I'll just kind of look to Vasily, and it's a look that's like, have your phaser ready in case something's about to happen.
and the person phases in. This is an Apragosian, and it is kind of a thin character, a little bit short. It does have 4 robots hovering around it, 2 spheres and 2 that look almost like flying Roombas. And said, I thought this deal was secure and good to go. Why are you all meddling?
As I said, we're not meddling. We were requested to come here on behalf of the late artist's daughter to make sure that this deal was on the up and up and to let you know exactly how things have transpired. We have no personal monetary stake in this. We're just here to simply make sure everything goes smoothly.
Very well, so you can get me my pieces of art and we can get out of here.
Well,
Marina, is this what you would like to have happen? Since you are, in fact, the owner of
the art
and of your father's estate.
Marina says, no, it's not my father's art.
So, this art is perhaps perhaps the best thing to do, since we are, since 3 pieces of art were promised and currently only 2 pieces are whole, perhaps the virtuoso could take a few minutes to produce the 3rd piece of art and also provide a timely demonstration of how it is produced.
That sounds great.
We're all involved.
Esri kind of looks, he's like, very well, I don't have all day though. And the virtuoso is like, absolutely! Goes over and grabs its materials and starts like painting, pretty fast.
I'll lean over to Marina while he's doing that and say, you are in charge of all of this. So you can, and this could possibly be a dangerous situation. You could have him hand over the art. Maybe put a designation that it's after your father's death and let them go away so we can figure out your estate and at least get you safely in.
Sullen my family name? Like, sully my family name? Like, oh no.
To be completely honest
mean-
here, Miss Duxbury, the debate isn't whether or not the virtuoso has made art that is your father's art. Clearly, it is not. We've already established that. We may need to convince
And
virtuoso otherwise. But
Nesri, when you say that, you say this is not the great work of Gerada Duxbury, mathematically pure artist.
it's complicated. If you'll watch the artist at work currently, I think you'll see exactly what's going on here and what we mean.
This was not part of our deal.
What you're watching it as a
Is
crisis
his art.
is the art itself.
Your experience right now is part of the art.
Yes, this virtuoso was created by Gerada with the intention of continuing to produce art, which you, as per your own description, made a deal for with said thing. All we want is for everybody to be clear about what is happening. It is perhaps not up to us to decide what does or does not constitute whose art. The great Gerada produced the virtuoso. He intended for the virtuoso to continue producing art pieces in his style, which he trained it to do. And what those pieces are called or how they're designated is entirely up to those who purchase them, such as yourself.
Art
can
is
tell that
subjective,
Also purchased
and
from
the
the
fact
family.
art is subjective,
Because,
but who wielded the paintbrush is not. It's clear to see that Gerada is not currently making this art piece that you have made a deal for, but it is a exact facsimile of his style, his representation, his art form. Is that a deal you wish to make still?
You see Nesri starting to like get red and blush. You're sensing a little bit of anger and a little bit of confusion in there as well. And he's looks around. I did not make a deal for art created by a robot. If that's what you're asking.
It sounds like you did.
I came here
According
to
to you.
find
What was it?
What was the deal that you made with this computer? And I think you said something about, what was the word? Foolhardy?
Foolhardy.
I'm not leaving here without a piece of art by the greatest artist in the galaxy. The Rada Duxbury is known far and wide for his art, and that's what I made a deal for. Not something made by a. How does a robot even do that?
It's
You
complicated.
made a deal. You made a deal with the virtuoso, who is a robot. But I will tell you that the owner of the artist's estate and all of his belongings and all of his paintings
And the virtuoso.
and the virtuoso is standing right here.
And he looks up with a
you
kind of
didn't-
snarl.
We should
Very well, then you will find me a piece of your father's art.
You're
Marina
you're
Dux-
able to make a deal with her as well as you see fit.
Marina kind of is really taken aback and weirded out.
And we'll say, Marina, however you wish to deal with any of your property in your estate, Starfleet will
Well,
back you 100%.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And
Or both parties can simply go their own way. There is no harm and no foul here.
it took a 2-day journey out here just to get my piece of art and add it to my collection. Everybody in the Collectors Guild is looking for a piece of art created by Gerada Duxbury.
Well, I apologize. There are none here. So,
Perhaps your journey, as you said, was foolhardy.
And Marina says, well, that's not entirely accurate. none of his art is here.
I just kind of take a deep breath, like I knew that I was trying to persuade this guy. Yeah, but I don't
Would
say
you
anything.
like to sell the one piece that you have here, Marina? Would you like to sell the one piece?
Again, it's your art piece to sell or to not sell. It's entirely up to you, Marina.
At this point, like Nesri is just like, you know what? Take all the art, and he sends his robots flying around the room. And
That's going to help you out when everybody finds out that you have a bunch of paintings from it, this beautiful machine here.
and you know what? In fact, he gets even more angry and is like, you know what? If I can't have a piece of art, then all the art here will be destroyed. And
I'm going to run over to the computer that is
yes.
controlling the whole area, and I'm just going to throw up a permanent. I'm gonna make the transporter signal permanent, or the disruptor permanent, and I'm going to, if there's any shield, I'm gonna just throw the shield up too.
To try to keep this guy in.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's luckily those have been the most recently activated systems by the Virtuoso. So
I love it.
But you do see the two spheres are starting to like burn like different pieces of art the Virtuoso has made with lasers. And the two little Rumbas are flying around and smashing into things.
I suggest humbly
It also,
that you ask them to stop doing that.
He's having like a temper tantrum, and as you like start looking around, Rena has kind of like started walking over to her bedroom. Actually,
Since he's not going to stop these robots that are flying around destroying the art, I'm going to pull out my phaser. I'm going to fire at one of them that's got the lasers that's burning through the paintings.
I'd
Right,
like to follow that and burn another one.
So you're going to attack one of these sphere
Yep.
robots?
Yeah, I am.
All right. I'll let you do that. Go ahead, and this is, again, difficulty 2.
Okay.
And this is control plus security to try to hurt this thing.
Okay.
Gonna go find their stats. Here we go.
Okay. Let me get over to my roll 20. Let's see. We have one momentum. I'm not going to buy anything then. I'm just going to go ahead. I assume this is all happening very quickly, so I'm just going to... It's almost like a pot shot, like a quick draw, a gunslinger from the Old West.
It does require 2 successes
Yes.
to hit something with a range attack.
That's fine. I will... like I said, we'll just kind of pan it off to the confusion that's going on here. I don't have any focuses that are going to help, so...
And I'm going to do another one, and I definitely don't have focuses that are going to help.
Ooh.
Okay,
That's
well,
successes,
I got 2, a 2 and a 4, so yeah, I love that for me.
All right. So you are going to inflict some damage on this security orb, and
My
go
phaser
ahead
has a
and roll.
6. Is that damage? 66?
Yeah. So roll 6d6.
You got it.
Let's see what happens.
Oh, hang on. I reversed 2 of my numbers. 66. There it goes. Sorry about that.
So 3s and 4s are bad.
Yes.
They don't do anything, but you do deal. So the 2 6s are good.
Mm-hmm.
So that is 1 stress each. You can spend 1 momentum to re-roll any number of dice from your pool if you wish.
No, because we only have 1, I will not. I'll just have again.
Okay.
This is just a quick hit, a hot shot, just to kind of stop them. Really more to wake up this trader guy.
What a rude visitor.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we try to be civil about this,
You get the sense that Nesri is having a temper tantrum.
Yeah.
And is quite upset.
Well, here's the thing, Al. We tried the Picard approach. Now we're gonna do the Kirk approach. Okay, it's just what's gonna happen. So.
So here's what's going to happen:
Oh,
is
boy.
one of those flying Roombas is going to fly over and try to start sucking up Jissa's hair.
Oh, no.
And I'm gonna go
Oh,
ahead
no.
and
Is
So
there
you
a pipe around here to whack it?
Speaking of which,
nice.
while you guys are on that tack, Vasily moves over to the child who is here, draws his pipe, and takes a defensive posture to make sure that in case one of these things comes after Marina, it's gonna regret it.
she started walking to her bedroom, by the
Yeah,
way.
I'm following
You're gonna
her
follow her?
with my pipe drawn defensively.
Nice.
This thing comes flying at you, tries to suck up your hair, and you duck in enough time to get out of the way. Would you like to return fire?
Like to return fire, I
Nice.
believe. But before I do that, how close am I to the main sales, the main purchaser? Am I pretty close?
I mean, you could engage him with a simple action, yeah.
I feel strongly that the doctor in me is like, this guy has some super high anxiety, some real issues. And you know what? I actually do have hypo sprays for this exact thing when people are feeling so incredibly overwhelmed and so incredibly anxious. So, Jissa would like to casually get behind him and try and hypo spray his butt cheek with something that'll mellow him out.
All right. So he's not. He's so angry and frustrated that he's not really paying much. He's not actively defending himself. He's watching his robots go off and destroy things. He's kind of like Dr. Robotnik a little bit. So if you could just make a daring plus, I guess I'll let you use medicine to try to hit him with that. He's not going to oppose at all.
All right. Well, I have a daring of 9 and a medicine of 5. So let's see what we have.
Yeah,
That's
Difficulty
16
1.
more.
Do you wanna? You should still spend some momentum. Go for it.
One more.
Yeah, why not?
That's not helpful.
Oh, bummer.
No, you rolled the 16 and the 4 initially, right?
Yeah.
It's good. That's one success. That's all you need.
Okay.
Didn't need to buy another die.
There we go.
So you got him, and he collapses to the ground.
Are the
Robots,
robots
however, do
still
not.
running amok at this point?
What's that?
Do the robots continue to run amok?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I would like to, since I'm still at the computer console, and I happen to have a focus in electroplasma power systems. I'm going to just introduce a little zappy to the zone, where basically kind of a controlled small
Like an EMP.
EMP pulse.
Yeah.
And we're going to just knock those little guys down, and the Virtuoso too.
And the virtual.
It's just going to take a little
No,
electronic.
Virtuoso, no. Oh, no.
All right,
If she's putting the clicker down for a nap, I'm putting all the machines down for a little nap.
Oh,
So here's what I'm
no.
gonna say. This is gonna require 2 actions, right? The first action is setting up so that an EMP burst can happen, and then the next action will be actually making it happen. So I'm gonna say that this is difficulty 3, insight plus engineering.
Okay. And I'm absolutely going to spend R1 momentum if that's okay with everybody else. But I need it. All right, fingers crossed, everybody.
Am I still able to help maybe with insight?
There's a critical success and 1 normal success. The 16 is a success. I have
So you got 3 successes.
engineering plus. Yes, I have 3 successes.
Perfect. That's exactly enough. That's exactly what you need. And as you get that set up, a laser comes down at you.
Oh no.
Zzz.
Sizzle.
These things are going a little bit crazy.
We tried to be diplomatic about all of this, and then here we go.
I'm just going to stick with my character's original MOs. I'm just going to just start punching things first. I do this every session. I'm like, yeah, he's just gung sure, and then we're going to talk about it, and it never works out. So, you know what? I'm going to punch something next session.
I only got one success here, so I miss you with that laser beam.
Nice.
All right. Andrew.
Yeah.
There are two vacuum suck. What are they called? Vacuum suck 3000s and two guild sentry orbs flying around.
Vacuum suck 2000.
Well, like I said, I more wanted to make sure that Marina gets to safety.
She's safe. She's behind you.
Okay. I'm gonna tell her to go and lock herself in her room while we deal with these things.
Sure.
And
would you like to deal with one of these things?
I will go deal with one of these things.
Which one would you like to deal with? A vacuum suck 3000 or a security orb?
Whichever one's closest to me.
All right, we'll say there's a security orb right there for you.
Okay.
Baseball
I'm
bat.
gonna go over. I'm gonna smack it with Chekhov's pipe.
I love it.
All right. This thing is gonna oppose you, not by any dice. Good for me.
Okay. We have no momentum, right?
Correct.
No.
Okay, what do I roll for a melee attack?
It is daring plus security.
Okay, so that'll be 15. And I have close quarters combat as a focus.
Of it?
And I will give you one threat for a momentum.
Actually, I do have one success here.
You can do determination too, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you need to, yeah.
That's okay. I'll just give you one threat for a third die.
There you go.
Nice. Bold.
Oof. So that is 2 successes.
You have generated one momentum. Go ahead and roll your damage.
So I have... It's what? 5 plus it's my weapons rating, which is 5, plus security, so would it be 8 dice then?
I thought 5 was already with your security figured in.
Yeah, okay, yes. And you said that my pipe has the devastating quality, and I don't know what that means.
I believe it takes me longer to recover from injuries caused by it.
Nice.
All right. So I rolled I have 2 6s, 2 5s, and a 3. A 3, I think, does nothing.
That's 4 altogether. You do have one momentum floating. Would you like to make that a 5th stress and knock this thing out of action?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So one of the spheres, one of the orbs, has been batted away with a pipe smashed against the far wall. All right, Commander, Vacuum Suck 3000 coming at you.
Alrighty, bring it.
It's gonna try to vacuum you to death.
Okay.
Because I have close-knit crew, it says you and your crew have bonded, so you may pull together when a situation demands. If there are fewer points of momentum in your group pool than there are characters in the scene who possess the talent, immediately add 1 point of momentum. Is that something I could, or I should have?
Basically, that starts at the beginning of the scene.
Okay. Okay.
Which is when we would have come back. Yeah, keep that in mind because that's actually really good. Yeah. I think you had 2 momentum at the start of the scene anyway, so it probably wouldn't have come into play, but it's really good early in the game. So, Kevin,
Yes,
this is an opposed daring plus security.
I love it. I get to finally roll something for daring, which is my highest attribute. So here we go. My daring is a 12. My security, you said, is a 3. So that's going to be against a 15. This is 2d20 like normal, correct?
I bought a die with threat.
Okay. Well, I already rolled. Maybe I should have added the threat too. What's the threat? 6? But I already rolled. So I have 1 success with a 10 and an 18.
So I rolled 2 successes and a complication.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna inflict some stress, but the complication is that I'm also gonna deal stress to myself.
Okay.
So let's roll It's trying to vacuum you to death, which is a whopping 4d6.
Hard to do.
So that's 1, 2, 3 stress to each of us. Huzzah!
All right. Noted.
We need to de-stress some people.
And I believe that we're back to the top of a round, so you guys get to choose what you want to do. We have 2 vacuum robots and 1 sphere bot, security bot flying around. Security bot is a little hurt. One of the vacuum robots is pretty hurt.
I think I'd like to complete my zappy.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's call this control plus engineering. Difficulty.
Nice.
We'll call it difficulty 1.
Okay. I will not buy any dice because we don't really have any to buy.
There's always that.
Let's see if I have any cool. But I have an electroplasma power system, so this is pretty spot on with what I'm doing with the focus. I'm hoping. Let's see what my roll is. Boom.
3 successes.
2 successes. Plus whatever I would happen to get from.
If you have the electro power plasma systems,
I
that
do.
2 should be a crit, right?
Yeah.
So it's 3 successes.
3 successes.
So it's difficulty 1, so you're going to bank 2 momentum. The EMP goes off. Go ahead and roll 5d6 for me.
All right.
Want to roll a 5 or a 6 on this? Oh. 2 6s. So all the robots collapse to the ground and are currently inactive.
Excellent.
Is everybody okay?
I probably take a couple of points of damage because I assume it shorts out my implant.
Yeah, it might short you out. You might take 2 stress.
Yeah,
as well.
That's right.
I owe you.
Marina actually comes to her door as you're holding your eye, and she's got a painting in her hand. And it's a painting of that shuttle that you saw out in the parking garage.
I definitely don't think you should give that to that asshole. I mean, sorry, we don't speak that way in the Federation.
Is this the Kelvin
Oh wait, they're not
timeline?
part of the Federation.
She
Not
says,
a
"This is
time
my
man."
father's last piece of art he ever made."
You should keep that for yourself.
You should definitely keep that for yourself.
We should also maybe examine it, because you never know if there's some kind of secret message just for her in it. I don't know. Let's scan it for fun.
It's just a normal painting.
Commander
Ultimately,
Martin, can you
Marina-
perhaps get this gentleman out of here so that when he wakes up we don't have to worry about him? Can you beam him back to his ship?
Let me see. Can I, since I'm in here on the computers, what kind of do they have a tractor beam by any chance?
Who?
This
collectors.
This orbital or this outpost.
Oh yeah. Oh, the outpost? No.
Okay. Yeah, I'd kind of like to keep him here, but I'd like to beam him up to his own ship. I'm gonna drop. Yeah. Well, everything's got a little bit of an EMP pulse in this room. I'm gonna run over to our shuttle, beam him up to his own ship, and now he's shielded. He can't come back in.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send his little robots up with him too.
Okay.
Could we use them?
Are you sending the virtuoso up?
No,
No way.
not unless Marina specifically tells me that he can have her father's other last piece of art. Which yeah.
She should take him home for the time being.
And I'm gonna casually also just find his off switch and just calm him down so when he'll wake up when she's ready for him.
Yeah, and what happens when that guy wakes up and doesn't want to leave?
I mean, if he wants to tangle with Starfleet, like shipwise, that's his problem.
Are you suggesting you're going to bring a ship here and defend me?
Oh well, where are you gonna go? Are you gonna just live here?
No, I mean,
I thought you were gonna pack up and head home. We'll help you pack up and get out of
that's
here.
the plan.
Yeah.
Virtuoso, what is it that you want to do?
You'll be long gone before this guy.
Virtuoso's been turned
Oh,
off.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to Virtuoso.
No.
I was fixing something on
Maybe
stream
we
and I missed it. Sorry.
should keep him here asleep and get her out first.
Second question: is there a brig on the runabout
No.
or shuttle? No.
I mean, there's the sleeping quarters that you could probably lock the door down in, but
Boom. Let's put him back in the same quarters that she was locked in for the time being.
I can keep him asleep in
powered down.
Well, we're gonna
Be
put the
heavy.
Virtuoso in one room behind a shield, and maybe we'll put the Collector in the other room behind a shield. And I'm gonna beam his little robots out into space.
Wow. I like how our whole crew is just like gung ho, like no
Wait.
F's given.
We were diplomatic, right? Right after
we were.
the guy sent in the killer robot.
We are definitely the young,
Tom-
sexy Star Trek crew.
His robots are gonna be just fine out in space. When he comes to, he can beam them back aboard his ship after we've had a chance to have a calm negotiation with him.
I mean, can they be reprogrammed?
We're not gonna steal them. I'm just removing them from the premises for the moment,
Sure.
temporarily.
Jess is gonna give another hypo spray to the collector. You know, not like overdose situation, just another spray to
Wow.
continue on the sleepiness,
So you can
A
pack
little
up the
bit
stuff and get
longer.
out of there.
so we have enough time to pack her stuff up and get her and everybody out.
Miss Duxbury, what is it that we can assist you with in this moment? What is it that you
If
want?
I leave and we turn the Virtuoso back on, it's just gonna try to do this again.
He's off, and you can take him with you wherever you want.
I think the bigger question is you're looking at him as if he is an imposter, and what you should consider is that he might be your father's finest pieces of art. So that is only your decision. Like, you are the one that has to grapple with that. He is now turned off, but he is also your property. So you should, either keep him turned off or turn him back on in a situation that you feel comfortable with.
Yes.
Load him on the shuttle.
Yeah. And from a Federation standpoint, I mean, you called us because you were in distress. You're no longer in distress, and therein
Thank you.
ends our
Yeah,
involvement.
we don't have any say over what you do with your property. Although I, personally, if I may be so bold to say, I think it would be a real shame to let the Virtuoso just simply go unnoticed. Your father did have a goal, and he did have a purpose in mind, and as Commander Martin said here, it's part of your father's legacy. So,
Could we remove its communication capabilities?
Probably do something
So
like
it's
that.
not sending signals elsewhere?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
we
What if
could.
you mentioned something about gallery?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. This will be an installation.
Mhm. You just have to make sure that it's safe, the installation is safe, and the Virtuoso is safe from, collectors that might not care and just take advantage.
You may want to engage the services of some curators to possibly help run a museum or gallery here
Mhm.
with him, but I can certainly disable his communications. I won't even remove them. I'll just disable them until such time as, or if you feel that you'd like those communications abilities restored.
About those robots that were attacking us, could we use those as security?
I mean, they're technically the property of the collector while we're on the issue of property. Also, I may have just slightly beamed them out into space for the moment.
That's easy to bring back. And
You
to
know,
be honest,
that's one of those, like, if you want to maybe work out a deal with the collector for his robots, sure. But you know what? As Federation members, it's very easy to find, any sort of
Other-
robots or anything that we can use.
I don't
We
think
could even
that,
replicate some and send them your way.
and to be
I don't
completely
think the collector is gonna want to deal with you after this.
well, to be completely honest, I mean, it's not entirely out of the purview of the Federation to simply not notice what happens with the robots after we leave.
I've been saying
Isn't there like a giant facility where we put these things?
yes, it definitely is. The days from Institute. He probably does belong there.
That man knows what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Put him right next to Peanut Hamper.
Thus far, the virtuoso himself has not proved to be dangerous or life-threatening to sentient life that I'm aware of.
It just was trying to perform its protocols.
It just somehow it has a bartering subroutine in there, which I feel is wholly inappropriate.
Should not be there.
For a non-sentient bit of machinery. I might be able to tweak that subroutine too. So it's not trying to
And
pawn
she's
off
like,
an
very
arm
well.
there.
I appreciate your help. I'm sorry that you had to deal with that chaos that ensued, but it was
what we
very
do.
kind of you. And I think maybe we could make this a memorial to my father. If we can turn off the virtuoso's communication capabilities, just let it do its thing.
I would come visit. I mean, the art is fantastic. But the way I see it is all of the art that it produces is part of the art that is itself. If that makes sense. It and whatever it creates is one piece, in my mind.
And I think this, and I'll point to the painting that she was bringing out, I think you should put that in a place of honor.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure how Afrosians bury their dead, but I'm sure that she will make this part of his final celebration of life. Yeah. Do you have anything else you want to do here?
I don't know if you want me to try to make rolls to disable like its communications, or just assume that it.
No, we're at the kind of narrative ending type thing.
I'd like to, Commander Rawl would like to, as Martin is doing this, as he's disabling this aspect of the virtuoso, he just wants to stand nearby, just kind of watch, I guess, in a kind of a weird subtextual way, almost there in support of the virtuoso, kind of stepping away from what they feel they are.
And I'll like narrate as respectfully as I can exactly what I'm doing too, so people aren't like, and this is the thing which won't impact any of his creative motive. This should disable the incoming and outgoing transmissions. This little bit over here should take care of its instinct for bartering, which I find was a little bit interesting. And then I'm going to just kind of show Marina, like, like, here's how you can turn these back on if at some point you decide you want to restore this to his original vision.
She is extremely appreciative
engineer
of all your help, and will thank you profusely, especially if you're going to help her pack up her shuttle and get her father's stuff out of there. She will be forever in your debt, she'll say.
There's no debt to have.
Let us know when the grand opening is.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just let us know when the grand opening is.
Oh yeah, we'll send you that message.
And if you need help with party planning, the doctor here is really good at that kind of thing.
Well, we're supposed to meet up with some Klingons, and they have some really great party supply. So I'll keep that in mind.
That's
when we
true.
visit.
That's very true.
All right, and that wraps up the art of it all.
Awesome.
Congratulations. You made it work. I don't know if there was a correct ending to that.
We did it.
But
Awesome.
You made it work. Nice job.
Yeah, what a cool session. Thanks, Al. Thank you very so much for playing and for running this for us. It's always a pleasure.
I'm a little bummed that we didn't get onto the collector's ship, because I wanted to really roll on the collector's collection random table.
Hey, you know what? Roll anyway. Let's see. What did we miss? No.
Oh, roll me a d20. I'll tell you.
Okay. Hey, let me get back in the roll 20 to roll a d20. Here we go. Oh, whoa, what's it doing? Hang on a second. Let's hit the. Helps if I hit the right button. Boom.
6 from Andrew.
13.
Andrew, you would have stumbled upon a Kazon prototype transporter device.
Oh,
Nice.
very cool.
They did not have that technology. Kevin, you would have stumbled upon a painting of a cat signed by Lieutenant Commander Data.
Oh man! Wow, that's awesome.
Adela would have found
I would have gotten nothing.
a Borath time crystal that is cracked.
Ooh.
Matt would have stumbled upon a set of Lingonian cheering sticks.
Nice.
I gotta say
Something
that. I gotta say that, as far as random things go, a painting of a cat by Data
Yeah,
is so on point
I
for
love
this
it.
session.
I love
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, that's it. That actually is, I think, the total, not the symbolism, the symbol.
Yes.
Right.
I wrote this section in the Lower Decks book,
Awesome.
so I'm happy that we got to pull out the Collectors Guild a little bit.
Very cool.
That's fantastic.
I love it.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
this was a blast. So thank
awesome.
you, Al.
Thank you.
Great.
I had no idea where it was going to go, and I think that's sometimes the best Star Trek stories that you can do is just
Totally.
let it go where it goes. And, I think that you guys did great.
Awesome. Well, thank you. We thought you did great too. So
Awesome.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
That was really
Let's go around real quick. Let's thank everybody first off for tuning in and watching and hanging out with us tonight. These were the fine players. We're playing a little bit of Star Trek Adventures, which is published by Modifius. Al is a writer for said game and does some awesome stuff. So please check him out at the links he's going to provide to you in just a minute. But for right now, I will have my fellow players announce themselves, and then I will have Al sign off, and then I will take us out for the final call here. So let's start right up here, right above me. Right there he is, Matt. Tell us, what all do you do when you're not here, man? Now, I know you're like the Star Trek Uber fan, so what else do you do?
when we're not watching lots and lots of Star Trek.
Yeah.
We have a wonderful little daughter who
Yes.
basically takes up all the rest of our time. 19 months old. That seems like kind of like our main.
That's our life.
That's our life right now. It's like work, kid, Star Trek. Like
That's it.
it's pretty
Yeah.
good. No, we're actually watching some other stuff now. I am really just a player. I don't do creating within kind of the game space. Wouldn't mind getting into that someday. It's pretty cool stuff. But I'm just honored to play with all you guys. If anybody feels like following me on socials, Twitter and Instagram are both Workin' Man, W0RKINMAN.
You'll see a lot of fishing related.
Yeah,
things.
fishing is
Fishing.
my other thing that I like to do. It'd be
It
a lot
is,
easier with
right in the LCARS display directly below him if you need that spelling. So it's, we got it right there for you. So, Matt, thank you so much, buddy. We'll look forward to seeing you next time. Right there next to him, they're swapped on the screen here. Adela, you've done lots of other fun stuff here at Wanderers Haven. So, what do you do when you're not here?
Yeah, I guess. Well, I'm taking a little bit of a hiatus on Wanderers Haven right now,
That's okay.
but I'm chasing around a little toddler most of the time. But I do, in fact, I sew children's clothing. I sew children's costumes. I'm a stained glass artist. I love to cook. I love to garden. You name it, all the things. You'll probably find little updates on Instagram of all the things that I do. However, if you want to see the sewing aspect of it, it is a Bella Bee Clothing or Bella Bee Kids, at Bella Bee Clothing or Bella Bee Kids. And there you'll find it. And again, thank you for allowing us to play with you guys, because we're the novices. You guys are like, no.
No, you guys are the best. Thank you so much. We appreciate you both and all that you bring to the table. So thank you. Here onto my side, obviously it's this way. My screen's reversed. Andrew, thanks for sitting down with us, man. Vasily is always such a blast to hang out with. So
Yeah. Thanks for having me once again. You can find me on the Twitters at Sword Compass, and also on Mastodon, same thing. I do occasional writing for mostly Dungeons and Dragons and occasionally some other things.
What was this?
yeah,
It's and it's this year has been kind of a year that I've made it out to a lot of cons. So I got to run Star Trek. I got to DM Star Trek Adventures at Gen Con, so that was a blast. And I DM'd an adventure that Al wrote, so that was really cool. Yes. So, and I was I think one of the first people to run it kind of in a public setting. So, so that was really cool. I will next be at Big Bad Con, which is in San Francisco, and not running anything, but if you're there, say hi. And then at Game Hall Con, which is in Madison, Wisconsin, where I will be running some stuff and also just doing some stuff. So say hello or say hello on the socials. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew does great stuff. He's being very humble with the writing that he does. So thanks for doing that. Let's cut up to Al real quick. Usually we'd have the GM go last, but looks like I have announcements for the channel, so I'll do that. So Al, again, I would mention where you're at, but please tell us more.
You can find me on the socials at GM_Admiral. And in addition to doing some freelance stuff for Star Trek Adventures, I've also co-created the game Sentience 2D20 with the Modifius World Builders program. That's available on Drive-Thru RPG, and it's all about terraforming robots who have gained sentience while the humanity was away. We'll actually be running that next Saturday here on this channel, and I'll be running a preview mission for the next book that we're going to be releasing. Hopefully by the end of the month. We'll see.
Excellent. I love that. Cool. So yeah, this was an absolute pleasure. Al, thank you so much for taking us through this journey again and playing some Star Trek with us. I'm Kevin. I played Don Rawl, the Commander First Officer of the Ginsburg, and I can be found on the socials at KevRan Games. When I'm not here playing this game, I do a bunch of different stuff on Wanderer's Haven because I'm part of the production team here. And thank you for your patience tonight. It was my first time running the stream, so I had a little hiccup. So thank you very much for your patience, everybody, with that. Also, when I'm not here, you can find me over on La Nat Eterna on Fridays, where I run a Grimdark 5th Edition campaign where we are in a world without a sun. So that's pretty cool, fun, and exciting. We have a new arc starting in 2 weeks with awesome, cool players dealing with some time travel aspects. So tune in for that. But if you want to watch more cool stuff on Wanderer's Haven, you can check it out on our YouTube. Also some stuff on VOD is here on Twitch. Follow, subscribe, hang out with us on our Discord. The link is down below. And you can also, if you're really so inclined, you can just, hang out with us because we're cool folks and we like everybody. The people you see sitting here are in the Discord. We'd be happy to talk and say, hey, what's up? And we have Miniatures Monday on Monday at 3 p.m. with Jeremy. And we also have on Wednesday the continuing saga of East Terra by Miko. So tune in for those cool things. But for tonight, I think that's it. I think we're good to go. So again, thank you all so much for playing. We love you guys. And thank you all for watching and hanging out with us. Until next time, boldly go, Good night, everybody.